All right, welcome back, grade 8 parents. This is part 2 of the video here. What I'm going to talk about in this part of the video is math, um, our parent portal, and the school website. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is if your child is in grade 8, they have math with me. Now, how do I do grade 8 math? I do something called the flipped classroom. So what I do is instead of in the traditional class, I would teach a lesson throughout the day, assign X amount of questions, and then anything they don't get done, they take home for homework. Then I got away from that and I did this thing called the flipped math. And basically, what the flipped math is instead of doing questions for homework, I put a video of me teaching the lesson online. The students watch the video and then they come to class the next day prepared and ready to just use the entire time to work. And that way, myself, and if I have an EA in the classroom, we can really help these students get the point and they can tell us what they struggled with during the video and we can really narrow it down and help them out. So, the way I do that is quite simple. I have a YouTube channel. Now, here it is, and you can see all the different videos I have. So, in this case, lesson 3.6, dividing fractions, part one. Here's part two. Your son or daughter would watch it the night before. I encourage you to sit down with them. You can watch it with them. You can see how we teach this math program. And then when they come to school the next day, I ask the students to self-evaluate. We line them up. They line up, and I just kind of say, "Hey," I give them color red, yellow, or green, and kind of say, "Where are you at with math right now?" After watching the video, if you feel you're ready to go with the assignment, you don't need much help. You're green. Go ahead, and they sit at one set of tables. If they're yellow, it means they watched the video, but they might have a few questions just to kind of help them out and clarify some things. They sit at one table. If they're red, it either means they didn't watch the video or it didn't make sense to them, which is fine. And that's where I know I can really focus and help those tables out. Now, how do they get a mark in math? It's quite simple. I ask them, we do this assessment focus question at the end of the lesson in class, and it's a mark they get out of 4. There's a rubric attached to it. Now, I'll let you in on something here. The students have Pearson. This is all our textbooks are online. So in this case, this is my Pearson account here. But every student has their own Pearson account. And what an Pearson account is every textbook we have in the school is now electronic. So in this case, I would go down, scroll down. There's a bunch of language arts, literacy in action. You can take a look at this with your son or daughter. Now here's all the math textbooks up to grade 9. Here we go. Math makes sense, grade 8. So I would click on this link, and in this case, the video we're looking at was like 3.6. When this comes up, hopefully it's quicker for you than it is for me. Over here, order of operations with fractions. I go down, I can go to 3.6, and I pull up the question. All right, here's the lesson, right? So usually this guides my videos. I go through, I'm turning the page here. Now, what you'll notice is there's an assessment focus question for every lesson in this book. Usually it's one of the questions in the teens. In this case, right here, number 17, it's always highlighted assessment focus. Basically, it says if the student can answer this question, they get that lesson on math that day. So usually I have the assessment focus on a separate piece of paper, or I have a similar question that I make up and give to the students. The other thing I want to show you really quick is the toolbox here. It is online manipulative fractions. We found this really helpful. Like there's number lines here. Anyway, so the students can play around with it. This is a really cool thing that the school division supports by getting us these Pearson texts online for every student. So, anyways, I suggest if you have time, go through it with your son or daughter. Here's an example of the number lines, and we work with this in class every day. So, something to take a look at. All right, so that's your math. That's how the math works. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. You know about the Pearson now, my YouTube channel. Now, the other thing is, what happens if your son or daughter doesn't get a 12 out of 12 on the assessment focus? Not the end of the world. There's ways they can still bump up their mark. our school has bought a code for every student in Argyle school, and from grade 1, I believe, to grade 8, and it's called Mathletics. So they can go onto this Mathletics website, and in this case, we were working on fractions at the grade 8 level. There are lessons down here that they can click on. And what I've said to the grade 8s is, let's say they get a 9 out of 12 on the assessment focus, and it's on divided fractions. Well, they can go onto this Mathletics program, go to the lesson, and there'll be certain lessons, and they can go to the dividing fractions lesson. Now, they can do more than one lesson on it, on dividing fractions. And so for every lesson they do, and it's 10 questions long each lesson, I'll give them an extra mark. So if they got a 9 out of 12 and they go and do 3, they put in the work to do the 3 extra lessons, I'll bump that 9 out of 12 to 12 out of 12. If the students are willing to do the work, I'm willing to reward them with the marks. So that's something else to be aware of, is this Mathletics program. One other thing I want to show you, our school website. It's a very useful tool for parents here. Just really quickly, down here you'll see Mr. Panko's blog. Down here, there's our Twitter feed, our Facebook feed. The school does have a Facebook post and Twitter. But what I want to show you is up here on this bar up here, there is a Parent Power School. So you click on here, and this is your parent portal. If you don't have your username password, come see Mr. Panko. He can give it to you. We can't email it out. You have to see the principal in person to get that code. You can ask me for it at parent-teacher interview time if you don't have one. But basically, you can log on to this website as often as you wish. It's up to the minute progress of how your son or daughter is doing. So the second I enter a mark in a science, a math, a language arts, you can have access to it, so that you won't be surprised by your student's report card in November or March, whenever they get sent out. You could know how they're doing in the middle of September. So I suggest you log on there, and you can follow your student's progress instead of just twice a year. You can follow it every day, every week, whatever you choose to do. It's a pretty cool little thing. So there you go. If you watch the video, you now know how your son or daughter can get a good mark in language arts each week. You now know how to hand in how to get a 4 out of 4 on our inquiry lessons through Edmodo. You know how the math program works and how they can also bump up their math mark. You know our website, how you can keep track of their work through the parent portal here. So hopefully that just gives you an idea of what the year looks like for your son or daughter. You can help them out at home, give them gentle reminders about doing the bump it ups and handing stuff in on Edmodo. And if you have any questions at all, or just want to comment on anything, right here is my school email. By all means, please email me any questions, anything, thoughts, anything you need me to be aware of that happens in the classroom. You can get a hold of me here, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. So thank you for taking the time of your day to watch this video. I look forward to working with your son or daughter this year. We're going to challenge them. We are going to make them better as learners throughout the year. That is my goal, and I look forward to the school year ahead. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk again. Thank you.